Hello and welcome to day 2 of the EOA conference, supported by headline sponsors J. Gadd Associates and Postlethwaite Solicitors. I'm Chris McDermott and I'm the chair of the EOA, plus I'm also managing director of the One-to-One Diet by Cambridge Weight Plan. Yesterday we heard from the founders of the newly employee-owned business GoApe about their employee ownership transformation story. And what a fantastic story that was, especially the bit where they said they found that course in France and they walked into the forest and the first thing they could hear was laughter. So that was brilliant. And then they found the manufacturers, the builders of the course halfway up a mountain somewhere in France, shook on a deal 5 hours later, and those guys are still building those GoApe courses today, 18 years later. So it was really great to hear their story and really inspirational to see how they've come and found their way into the employee ownership world. There are also 9 learning lessons that range from if EO is feasible for your business, to internal communications for employee ownership, to ways of working and approaches to measuring social impact. And don't forget, you can revisit these or watch them if you've missed them on catch up for after 60 days once the conference has been completed. Plus, you can also join our platinum exhibitors, Baxendale, Moore Kingston Smith and RV Corporate Finance in their exhibition visitor booths, as well as joining them on the topic-based networking tables after each session. You can also join our gold exhibitors, Bart Brabner's, Field Fisher, TLT Solicitors and Unitary Trust Bank in their booths and at their networking tables too. And talking of our networking tables, well, we've never done anything like this before, but it seems to be working really, really well. I just popped in before we came live here, popped into the networking session, went through the process, filled all my details in, and then looked at all the tables and all the people who were on the various different tables, and then jumped into one to say hello and to just chat about all things employee ownership. So it's really, really exciting. You have to be a bit brave. You have to sort of sign in, be brave, find a table, and then just sit down and then start having a chat. And most of our conversation was about what do you do at the end of the conversation when you want to move on to another table. And it would appear that people are very comfortable and very keen to say, right, great, thanks guys, I'm on to another table and I go and chat to somebody else. Apart from one person apparently pretended to freeze so they could get out of not having to say anything when they move from one table to another. Now, these sessions are really great, and particularly as they're going to be full of people, the networking groups, the sponsors, the exhibitors, and also in the later part of the days, the presenters from the various sessions that we've had throughout the day. So yesterday, for example, at the end of the session, we had the MD of GoApe on one of the networking tables, which was really great. I'm also delighted to see that some of you have already been having some fun with the photo booth and helping us to create a permanent visual record of the conference through a mosaic wall that we're building using everyone's faces. Now, as sponsors of this feature, on behalf of the One-to-One Diet by Cambridge Weight Plan, I'd really like to urge you to all take part, get in there, get loads of photos, different photos throughout the day, different spectacles, different stuff, so that we can really build a really fun, memorable thing for us to look back on in years to come and say, yeah, that's when we did the conference in 2021. Then, once you've done that, head along to the message wall, which is kindly sponsored by Glide, to record your messages about what inspires you most about EO or the EO network. Alternatively, or additionally, of course, you can create a message in our diary room. So we have an absolutely packed schedule for you today. Next, very soon, I will host our EO Story celebration featuring partners Baxendale. Then you can pick and mix from 9 more learning sessions with EO advisors and EO businesses, including J. Gadd Associates, Emperor, Network ROI, Howden Group, Clarisis, Archetype, and Horizon Platforms. Plus, there's also a session on accessing finance with Unitary Trust Bank, ThinCats, and Capital for Colleagues. Also today, the latest research into EO governance is highlighted in a really great session hosted by our think tank, Ownership at Work. Their CEO, Campbell McDonald, will host a session in which Ownership at Work, a partner at law firm Field Fisher, and Sue Lawrence, founder of Independent Directors and Trustees Limited, will share research and insight that showcases really good EO governance. For all these learning sessions, you can get your questions ready and get them answered in the live Q&A chat box. And if all that sounds like a huge amount of things, which of course it is, then take some time to recharge at the end of the day at 5 o'clock with our lifestyle sessions. Yesterday's helped to craft your health and life around your personal values, and that was sponsored by Wrigley Solicitors, whereas tonight is looking at your personal financial well-being in a session sponsored by Ovation Finance. And tomorrow, the EOA team voted for let's at the end of the conference in that final well-being session, let's do something about sleep, how we can get better quality and better quantity of it. And I think we're all going to need that after a few busy days here, immersed in the world of employee ownership, so we'll be able to sleep peacefully tomorrow night, dreaming of a better world with more EO businesses doing really good EO work. So that's what we have to look forward to later. But now I'm really very excited and very proud to welcome you to our EO Stories Celebration, which is being delivered in partnership with Baxendale. Earlier this year, we asked you for your EO stories, and we received 35 insightful and inspiring stories across 4 categories. Now, these were celebrating a true EO champion, promoting employee well-being, delivering good governance and engagement, and developing business resilience. The purpose of this celebration was to showcase the amazing stories of our members about impacts driven through a people focus, not just for one day, but throughout our events and awareness-raising activity over the course of the whole year. We have hosted all the stories on the EOA website, and we got you to vote on your favorites, which gave us a clear People's Choice winner in each category. Plus, we also have 2 very special prizes, a Partner's Pick, which will be introduced by Baxendale, and the President's Pick, which will be introduced by EOA President Patrick Lewis. So far, 13 businesses that submitted a story are also presenting sessions in this conference. And that's so brilliant. And we look forward to working with all the others on case studies, events, and blogs in the near future. After this celebration, the EO Stories Showcase will go live, linking you to these stories, as well as video and content relating to the 6 winners, which you can access during the conference and for 60 days afterwards. We will continue to build the EO Stories page with the additional content created, working with those who have all entered. So, the time has come for the first award, the People's Choice winners in the category of celebrating a true EO champion. Now, we had 4 very worthy stories in this section from Tens Care, Wave Refrigeration, Gripple, and Scott Barder. And your votes revealed that Godric Barder of Scott Barder is the winner. Fantastic. Now, there are 5 key snippets I wish to share with you from the Scott Barder story. Amazingly, 2021 marks 100 years of Scott Barder Company Limited, a global manufacturer of adhesives, resins, gel coats, and functional polymers, and also 70 years of the Scott Barder Commonwealth Limited. The guiding principles that Godric was fundamental in establishing when forming the Scott Barder Commonwealth with his father Ernest have successfully steered the organisation for more than 70 years and resonates powerfully on how they have supported each other and their communities during the pandemic. Scott Barder was the first company to hold a common ownership certificate, a trailblazer of this new type of business model with employee ownership at its heart. Godric has worked throughout the past 70 years to make sure the benefits of EO were felt globally. The set of principles and values agreed those 70 years ago and continuously championed by Godric, commitment, responsibility, teamworking, and fairness, are accepted throughout the Scott Barder Group as the key principles they work by and are measured against. His colleagues said, "We are thankful to Godric for his vision and continued contribution to our Commonwealth that has resulted in us having the 'we are in it all together' sentiment that we all value. Our EOA CEO, Deb Oxley, was able to surprise Scott Barder's CEO, Kevin Matthews, in person, who was able then to share. Here's what happened.
Nice to see you, Kevin.
Good to see you,
I've
Deb.
seen you for a while.
No, that's right.
Thank you so much for inviting us here today, and congratulations on your shortlisting for the
That's great.
EO Story Champion of EO. But I am here under disguise, really, because I'm not here just to say thank you for putting your application in. I'm actually here to say you've won the award.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. And I think particularly for Godric, he's invested his entire life in employee ownership. He gave the company away, and he built the company over many, many years. So that's really fantastic. How are you?
Oh.
Well, look, I've got some excellent news for you. Yes, you've been awarded by the Employee Ownership Association their True Champion.
Oh.
So this award, True EO Champion, is to Godric Barder. So Godric Barder and his father, Ernest Barder, and their mother, Dora Scott, gave the company away to the employees 70 years ago. They gave it away with some really strong values. So the company set up as a charity, gives 5% of its profits to charity every year. It really was framed with this concept of ESG at the core of the organisation. And we've been following that sort of dream ever since. He was instrumental in the company becoming global in nature and the evolution of employee ownership in an international sense. So not just UK employee owned, we're globally employee owned. So each of our employees all over the world has a stake in the company. And the enduring nature of that legacy in this, our 70th year, is there, palpable, clear to see in terms of our sort of reputation in the industry, but also our reputation as an employee-owned organisation.
Oh wow, that was fantastic! Goodness me, that was great to see Godric there, and what an inspirational story. That was really good. Well, congratulations to Godric and those who nominated him at Scott Barder. That was terrific. Okay, now on to the People's Choice Award for promoting employee well-being. Well, there were 12 excellent entries in this category, which are displayed on our EO Stories webpage, including from City Healthcare Partnership, Archetype, Aquascot, Chums, Collective Architecture, CSH Surrey, Make Architects, Mindworks, Ovation Finance, CTech, Synergy Vision, and TensCare. And I'm really excited to reveal that the votes gave CTech, which delivers employment, skills, and rehabilitation services, a clear lead, making them this year's EO Stories winner for promoting employee well-being. Their EO story talks about their 18 EO champions who ran a health and well-being working group that met fortnightly to find solutions to help the different challenges their employees, owners, and their households were experiencing during 2020, and split this down into practical, physical, and emotional support. How brilliant is that? It ranged from loaning laptops to families who needed extras for homeschooling and grants, to their listening ear groups and weekly meditation services. They also ran weekly exercise classes and activity challenges, all put in place after consultation and collaboration. Key cornerstones really of employee ownership. All this saw their employee well-being score increase by 12% to 77%. Here's what happened last week when they found out that they were the winners.
Hi Anne-Marie, nice to see you again.
Hi Deb, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. It's lovely to see you, and I just wanted to quickly nip in and say congratulations on being shortlisted for the EO Stories category of promoting employee wellbeing.
Well, we're delighted. We were delighted to hear that we were shortlisted.
What you don't know, Anne-Marie, and I do feel really disingenuous for doing this to you, which is I'm not here just to congratulate you on your shortlisting, but to actually say you've won the award.
No!
So to congratulate you on winning it.
Oh,
yeah.
That's fantastic. Oh, I had no idea, Deb. You've kept that very discreet, and that's a complete surprise to me, and we are absolutely thrilled to win that. I'm delighted on behalf of all of our colleagues, and the employee champions in particular have put so much work into thinking about well-being for their colleagues and really turning around some initiatives very quickly. So that's fabulous news. I'm delighted. Thank you.
Well, you should have a little award being presented to you now from,
Oh,
really
look at
well
that.
deserved.
Thank you. Well, I am thrilled, and you've managed to do that very successfully and discreetly, so thank you. On behalf of CTEC, we are delighted to accept the Employee Wellbeing Award. Thank you. I have just been told by Deb Oxley that CTEC have won the Promoting Employee Wellbeing Award with EO Stories. So congratulations, I've literally been presented with the award live on Zoom. Over the course of the pandemic, our people put a lot of effort into listening to each other and what the particular needs were as a result of the pandemic. And those champions worked really well together to come up with some ideas about how people could best be supported. And so it's really great to see that realised and us to be recognised with this award.
Oh, that was fantastic, and well done, Deb, for keeping that a secret and surprising the guys at CTEC there. That was really fun to see them so taken by surprise. That was great, and well done to everybody at CTEC for that great story for battling through during the pandemic. Okay, now on to your choice for the winners of Delivering Good Governance and Engagement category. Now, there were 5 stories that showed great engagement and governance, and these stories came from Community Dental Services, CIC, Rutherford Organics, Emperor, Quintessessa, and UMI. And I can exclusively reveal, everyone, that your votes placed Community Dental Services, CIC, which promotes good dental health and runs a referral-only dental service, as the winner. Fantastic. Their story tells of the race to understand the pandemic guidelines, and I think a lot of businesses can relate to that very much so. They had to implement new systems and processes, set up urgent care dental clinics, get supplies of PPE, work out what could be discussed and treated online, set up treatment centres that could take positive COVID patients, all the while making sure they kept patients and employees safe. This relied on established lines of engagement and communication across a now widely dispersed workforce with support for mental health and well-being. The scores of successes in their COVID employee survey were very impressive. They found that 91% of their people felt proud of the way CDS had supported colleagues. 91% also felt supported to perform their roles adequately and safely. 74% have felt able to contribute to decisions being made. 84% felt their contribution had been valued, and a whopping 97% felt communication routes had worked well. Here's what they had to say when we let them know that their story had been voted a winner by their peers.
Well, I just wanted to say congratulations on being shortlisted for the Delivering Good Governance and Engagement EO Story Award, which your entry came in and was fantastic. I'm being a bit disingenuous at the moment because the reason I'm actually here is to tell you you've won the award.
Oh, right.
Not that you've been just shortlisted, but you've actually won the Good Governance and Engagement EO Stories Award, Helen. So
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, well, that's absolutely fantastic. We're thrilled. Yeah.
I'm personally delighted, but the whole team will be really delighted to win this award for good governance and engagement. Our organisation treats some of the most vulnerable patients in the community, those with learning disabilities, those people who can't leave their home, people in care homes. We proactively said, right, we will provide urgent dental care, And not only that, what came with that brief was providing care for anybody in the population who would be COVID positive, because we knew that our most vulnerable patients were going to struggle unless we saw them. We really looked at our wellbeing resources. We engaged with certain organisations to help us support employees where we didn't have those skills to support them. Our employee surveys showed that they really felt the wellbeing support that they'd had was very good during this really difficult time, and it meant that we've had a really fantastic impact for patients. So I think that sort of summarises what we've done, and we're absolutely delighted to win the award.
Wow, congratulations to CDS CIC. That's a great story, a great business, and really doing some invaluable work during this terrible pandemic that we've experienced, and having such a great impact on the outcome of patients. So well done, everybody there. Okay, now finally, last but not least, in the People's Choice section of this celebration, we have the entries for developing business resilience. Wow. Well, there are 13 brilliant stories in this category. I think a true reflection of EO businesses that were able to use their employee ownership to best adapt and pull in new directions together to support their resilience during these incredibly challenging last 18 months or so. So the 13 who've told some great resilience stories are Gripple, 3P Innovation, the One-to-One Diet by Cambridge Weight Plan, Computer Applications Services, Tate Hindle, Tomlinson, Claremont Group, the Claremont Group Interiors, Kinetic, Loadhog, NSBRC, Provide CIC, Smile Together, and Tapestry Compliance. And I'm really, really chuffed and excited to say that NSBRC, the National Self-Build and Renovation Centre, were voted by you as the winners. Now, these guys knew that great flexibility and change was needed when COVID restrictions hit, because listen to this, 90% of their income came from exhibitors. So you must know how difficult these past 18 months have been. They've had to find new ways to protect income, of course, and to provide value to all of their customers, their exhibitors and visitors. And they've done this from kitchen tables or hastily cobbled together, made together homemade offices. Using furlough followed by flexing roles saw everyone change to make sure they could stay in business and keep working. This included their coffee shop manager, business development manager, and front of house manager becoming part of a 6-strong outbound calling team, and the CEO and marketing execs becoming online presenters. Here's what they had to say when we visited them recently to let them know that they had won.
Morning, Deb. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really well. How are you?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Fabulous. I just wanted to come on and congratulate you actually on your shortlisting for the EO Stories Developing Business Resilience category.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, no, thank you. We really appreciate it. It was interesting just having had the chance to write the story, really, because I think we're always focused on the day-to-day and what's coming next. So it was really a great opportunity just to pause and reflect on what we had been through over the last 18 months when we put the story together with the team initially.
Well, I am being a little bit disingenuous, Harvey, because I haven't come on just to say congratulations on your shortlisting. I've actually come on to say congratulations because you are the winner of the category.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that.
I can see, yeah. It was a fabulous account of the resilience that the National Self-Build and Renovation Centre has delivered over the last 18 months, and it scored the highest points, and so I'm absolutely delighted that you are the winner.
Oh, thank you so much, honestly. A bit emotional, actually. That's amazing. It's that's amazing news. Thank you so much.
I think my colleague might have something to give you, actually. Is he there?
Yes.
Is he giving you something?
Yes, thank you.
Look at that. Thank you so much. That is, yeah, honestly, that will mean so much to all the team. Thank you. It has been such a journey, and there's been real ups and downs, and I think being employee owned has just made the difference without any doubt, and just the culture that we had in the team kind of gave us that inbuilt resilience, I think, to begin with. Wow, such a surprise. That's brilliant. Yeah, the team are going to be absolutely thrilled. That's amazing. So we formed our employee-owned business in 2014, having taken on a company that had previously gone bust, essentially. So we knew about running a business during times of adversity, and we knew that the challenges that we were going to be facing. And for us, the key to business resilience has been all about communication. So open, transparent communication with the team of employee owners, but also with our various stakeholders as well. So the exhibitors that pay to be here on an annual basis, our pool of visitors, so potential and existing self-builders, and also wider stakeholders that have an interest in the business. It's been so important to give them open, honest dialogue about how we're performing, sharing some of the financial support that we were receiving when we were able to, but also asking for financial support when we needed it, and that has allowed us to come through the other side in a healthy, strong position. So it's all about that open, honest communication.
Wow, well, that was brilliant. Well done to NSBRC, and thank you for all of those stories, and thank you for voting for all of them. They were really, really great, and thank you everybody for taking part. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the videos of the winners. Some really inspirational stories there. Well, now we have our partners pick. So I'd like to welcome Emily Alston from Baxendale. Hello, Emily. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you, Chris.
Great. So you're going to tell us a little bit about why Baxendale decided to partner with EOA on EOA Stories, and also you're going to announce the winner picked by your team. So over to you, Emily.
Hi, Chris. Hello, everyone. As a team of employee owners, as well as advisors on employee ownership, Baxendale Employee Ownership are really proud to have been the EOA's partners on the EO Stories project, and we all felt from the outset that this was a really important project. And for me personally, the stories that employee-owned businesses share with each other about their successes and also about their challenges have always been an integral part of what makes the EOA and the EO community so special. For newcomers to employee ownership, as well as for established employee owners, it makes our community a place in business which is uniquely welcoming and supportive. The same stories that we share with each other are also very powerful in the outside world as we try to raise awareness of the better way that we do business. And this project was a chance to document some of those amazing stories. It was fantastic to see how many submissions there were, and more than half of the stories submitted are represented somewhere in the conference programme this year. I'm sure that, as Chris said earlier, that there'll be many opportunities in the future to showcase them all as well. At Baxendale Employee Ownership, we're very proud of our own EO story and the journey that our founder, Philip Baxendale, made from inheriting his family business to leading that business into employee ownership, with the creation via an Act of Parliament of the Baxi Partnership Trust. You can read more about our story, as well as finding out about what we do, helping businesses move into employee ownership and supporting existing employee-owned businesses, on our new website, which we were very proud to launch at this year's conference. You can find it at www.baxendaleownership.co.uk, or you can follow the link from our exhibition stand in the EOA conference exhibition area. It's the big yellow one. Philip's employee ownership legacy is at the very core of what we do at Baxendale, but we're also building our own future as a group of employee owners, and as a team, we're writing our own EO story. We make our key decisions collectively as a team, and the choice of our partners pick for EO Stories was no exception to that. The story that the Baxendale team chose demonstrated employees in the most difficult and unexpected of circumstances in the early days of the pandemic, thinking and acting as owners. And this, we felt, was right at the heart of what employee ownership means for us. And for that reason, we chose Tomlinson Limited's story, Crisis Culture and Cohesion, as our Baxendale choice. Leicester Foiling and Embossing Die Maker Tomlinsons have been employee owned for 4 years, but been trading for over 100 years. And as COVID hit, silence fell in their factory and it closed its doors. The production machinery was powered down and the entire workforce headed homeward for 3 weeks. However, their mobile phones were alight with thoughts and ideas about how they could get back to work, with all 24 employees determined to do what was needed to make the environment safe. individually and as a collective, they showed a determination to do the right thing for the business that they own, whether that was opting to take furlough for short times when orders were low, or when things started to get busy, firing back up, making improvements to processes and supporting each other as orders made it through. And it made them closer as a team. Really sadly, we weren't able to visit Tomlinson ahead of the conference, with their current workload being at its highest. We aim to visit them to do a full video case study though in the new year. However, they did spend some time making a recording of their own to say thank you for their awards. So congratulations, Tomlinson, and let's hear what they had to say.
Hello there, EOA conference. My name's Jim Little from Tomlinson's, one of the directors here, and I have Nathan, one of our great team. Nathan works in the CNC and our studio area. We are delighted to receive the Partners Pick Award from Baxendales, so we thank you for that. Back in March last year when COVID hit, obviously it was a bleak future for everybody. None of us really knew what the future would hold. For Tomlinson's, after talking to all of our team, we decided the safest thing to do would be to close the building, which we did, and we gave it a deep clean and got the safety measures in place, ready to come back. So I'll just let Nathan talk a little bit about how that went. Nathan?
Yeah, so at the beginning of COVID, a few of us were furloughed to make, try and make a safer working environment where social distancing was possible. And that turned out to be quite tough for the people who were left at work, and also for the people who were still just sitting at home, not really being able to do anything. So we soon found ourselves just wanting to come back to work and, do our part. And once we did, we actually, adjusted to the changes that we'd made relatively quickly.
We did, and really since COVID has gone along and the economy has opened back up, Tomlinson's are really absolutely flying. We feel that the time it allowed us to sort of create our online presence in a better way. We also produce a quarterly newsletter now as well, where we showcase one of our great team in each quarter. So yes, COVID's been very difficult, but we're glad that Baxendales in particular liked our story. We hope you all enjoy the rest of the conference. And once again, from everybody at Tomlinson's, thank you for the award. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you. Well done to the guys at Tomlinson, and thank you, Emily, for presenting that Partners Pick. That was brilliant, and that was a great story. Well, I'm now honoured to be joined by EOA President Patrick Lewis, the great-grandson of the founder of John Lewis and the great-nephew of John Speeden Lewis, who established the partnership. Patrick joined as president of the EOA in September last year. Hi, Patrick.
Hello.
How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
Well, I believe that you've got a special President's Pick that you want to share with everybody, so over to you.
Thank you very much, Chris. I've certainly found it really energizing hearing and reading all these stories. When I started as EO President last year, we discussed how we could grow the impact and the understanding of employee ownership, particularly for those people who haven't yet discovered the model. We've done some excellent research, and if you haven't read any of it, I'd encourage you to. But I'm a really strong believer that stories cut through in a very different way. We're really proud of the commercial success of so many employee-owned businesses. But I'm personally, and I know I share this, I'm even prouder of the effect employee-owned organizations have on people, whether they're suppliers, whether they're our customers, or particularly, of course, employee owners. And these stories really bring that to life. Across all the stories, there's a really constant theme. Where you give a stake and a say in a business and you nurture engagement, you can get some really fantastic results. Levels of trust, of engagement, encouragement, teamwork, and fulfillment can really blossom. And that's true in the good times, but it is particularly true when you're going through tough times like we have in the last 18 months. So a huge thanks to those of you who have submitted stories, whether in print or videos. We'll make sure that we keep feeding them on to the website so that everybody can enjoy them. So the President's Pick. This is an organisation that scored really well in the resilience category, but has also done an enormous amount of work for the well-being of all of their employees. And the prize goes to Claremont Group Interiors. Claremont, as an organisation, design and build exceptional workplaces. Something that I would say is vital at any time, but particularly at the moment where we're all asking the question, what's the workplace for? And how should we set it up in the current environment? They're an organisation that's 44 years old, but only recently, last year, became employee-owned via an employee ownership trust. And they're a great example of an organisation that, through the pandemic, has accelerated their own development. At the start of the pandemic, they faced incredible uncertainty. Some work had to stop totally, other work had to accelerate. And as you can imagine, for that type of business, it's not easy to do it via remote working. But plenty of employees had to, others had to leave home, isolate to get the work done. And they really rose to the challenge. Like many organizations, the impact on individuals was incredibly different. So what they did was they lent on their employee-owned values to really drive success, transparency, ownership, and passion, and use that to really build a strong sense of ownership and responsibility across the full team to be successful and to find the right route through. And it was incredibly effective. I think in their own words, they did a comms overload. Every single day they had different updates. They had quizzes working in different teams to build a more relaxed engagement. They really turned up the dial on all of the mental health. So they trained their own advisors to talk to their employees. And on top of that, they topped up furlough for all of the employees furloughed so that everybody understood that they were highly valued by the organization. And as I say, the outcomes were fantastic. They had a 96% engagement level in their recent survey and a leap forward in well-being. And that's quite something to achieve that through a pandemic. You can really feel that putting people before profit has definitely made their organization much stronger. So on that note, we've got a chance to meet a couple of the Claremont team on video. So I'll pass back to the video and then on to Chris.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Well, the team will be really, really pleased about this. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for your votes of confidence. I can't tell you how proud and pleased I am, and I know that the whole team, that means the whole business, will be really pleased that we've won this President's Pick Award. You know, it's been a really tough time for everybody, I think. Particularly for some of our guys and girls who are based on site. So for example, some of them have been stuck in Ireland for probably 18 months, whilst they've been on and off site as the Irish government stopped and started construction. The team have worked really well throughout this. We've been really mindful of keeping them all motivated and happy and keeping communicated with them. And this, I can't say how grateful I am for this, and the team will be over the moon. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done to everybody at Claremont, and thank you, Patrick, for the President's Pick. I think worthy winners there. That was really great. Well, that's it for our EO Stories celebration. Well done to all of those who have taken part. A special thanks to our partner Baxendale and to Emily and Patrick for joining us today. The EO Stories Showcase will now open with more videos and links to all of the stories. So before you go, just want to tell you what's coming up. You can now go to the networking area where you can have your topic-based conversations with our headline, platinum and gold exhibitors, or start your own conversation, but don't just start it on your own. Don't just sit there and sort of, I'm going to have a chat with myself. Go and find some people, have a chat with them, talk to them. It's very relaxed. Everybody's feeling the same. Everybody's going through the same experience of trying it for the first time, but it's really, really great and a really fun place to be. It's not a hard sell with the exhibitors. These guys are all EO experts and they're very happy to offer advice and support. Hang on a sec. They're telling my ear that some of that might actually be for free as well. So, you know, go over and have a chat with them. And if you're feeling inspired, go and record a message in the video diary room, get a picture taken in the photo booth and add it to our mosaic wall, or write something for our messages wall. Alternatively, you can go to the agenda, catch up on something you've missed, or plan in what you want to see for the rest of today and tomorrow. There is a resource library you can visit in between sessions that has other materials linked to the themes of the sessions of this year's conference. And don't forget, there is a choice of sessions running on 3 streams after the networking. We suggest you get there 5 to 10 minutes early to avoid missing the beginning of the one that you've chosen to join today. And finally, don't forget, there'll be a financial wellbeing session at 5 p.m. tonight, sponsored by Ovation Finance. It's a packed agenda, I know, but don't worry. You can watch some of it on catch up to 60 days after the conference if you can't fit everything in today and tomorrow. And if you get stuck, there is a live chat box at the bottom right-hand corner, manned by our great team at event partner First Events. So thank you everybody for listening and watching today. Have a great day. We finished 4 minutes earlier, which means that's 4 extra minutes for you guys to get to the networking sessions and start having chats face-to-face, grab a coffee, come down, and we can all meet up and have a good talk about employee ownership. But until then, have a great conference and have a great rest of your day. Cheerio.